it's really a great opportunity for you to start collaborating with the Bosch Group. I'm Géraldine Andrieux, I'm the CEO of Blumorpho, and Blumorpho has a great honor to be the official partner of the Bosch Venture Forum 2018. And I'm really pleased to introduce you Heribert Uhl from Robert Bosch Venture Capital, Senior Investment Director. Hello, Heribert.
Hello, Geraldine. Thank you very much for the brief introduction. So let me introduce myself. So I'm from Robert Bosch Venture Capital, and since 2011 with RBVC and with Bosch in general since 1999, working in different units at Bosch. So mainly in the automotive area for driver assistance. At the time, autonomous driving was far away from any realization due to missing regulation sensors and accompanied software technologies and computational power. And this basically brings me directly to our last year's as well as the 2018 Bosch Venture Forum theme. In 2017, the forum was dedicated to artificial intelligence and blockchain technologies. AI makes decisive contribution to realize autonomous vehicles. Of course, in addition to new sensor technologies and sensor fusions. Two representative RBVC investments are AI Motive, a full-stack software company delivering artificial intelligence-based software for self-driving cars, and TetraVue, ultra-high-resolution LiDAR company, which will help to enhance the capability of automated vehicles. The forum topics were, of course, not limited to automotive only, intended to get a wide application based from different verticals and industries. Let me give you some numbers to our last year's Venture Forum. 135 startups applied from 22 different countries. There are 15 startups selected to pitch at the event. The winner was Wave, a company which connects all members of the supply chain to decentralized networks and allows them a direct exchange of documents. This is made possible by using blockchain technologies. This year's forum is dedicated to next generation computing.
So thank you very much, Heribert, for this very good introduction on yourself first and on the Venture Forum, the Bosch Venture Forum. But what are the objectives of the event for you, actually?
Yeah, well, we are actively seeking for startup companies focusing on next generation computing in hardware and software. Similar to our last year's topic, we want to keep this widely open. The selected companies will be invited to the Bosch Venture Forum 2018 in Stuttgart, Germany, to pitch their business to the broad Bosch audience. High-level decision makers within Robert Bosch Venture Capital and the Bosch Group business units are interacting in one-to-one sessions with the selected companies to discuss potential synergies and collaboration opportunities. Please note that the Bosch Venture Forum is a Bosch Group internal event only, organized by the Bosch Venture Forum team every year.
Right, so it's indeed a great opportunity for company to enter into the Bosch Group and to define how they could collaborate. Could you give us a bit more information about the different collaboration opportunities?
Yeah, sure. It could start with partnering with Bosch Group itself and its tier 1 suppliers, alongside with building customer-supplier relationships and getting marketing and support for national and international rollouts. And last but not least are development cooperations and of course getting a minority equity investment by us, RBVC.
Okay, so it's both a business collaboration to develop a new solution and develop market, but also a possible investment from the Bosch Group in companies. Quite interesting. As you know, I'm speaking now to the participant of the webinar. The goal of this webinar is also to help you to optimize your access to this great opportunity for collaboration with the Bosch Group. So I think it might be very interesting, Heribert, if you can give us a bit of overview of the Bosch activities, so the company can also highlight the value of the collaboration and what they could provide as an opportunity for collaboration.
Sure. Yeah. Let me introduce you to Bosch itself. Yeah. Before digging deeper into the Venture Forum's topic, next generation computing. So Bosch's main focus is to enhance the quality of life, innovative technologies. And having said that, coming to the next slide, we want to achieve that goal with over 62,000 R&D employees across the globe working at 125 locations. We think that we are well positioned and recognized as one of the world's largest and leading international provider of technologies and services. We invested in the past 5 years more than 30 billion euros in research and development. Our objective is to develop innovative, useful, and exciting products and solutions to enhance the quality of life. Technology that is invented for life. But let's have a deeper look on Bosch key figures and active business areas. So, with over 400,000 associates and 78 billion euros in sales, we are active in 4 different business sectors. Mobility solutions, which is the largest share of sales with roughly 61%. The rest is spread out to industrial technologies with, for example, Bosch Rexroth and Bosch Packaging, as well as the energy and building technology sector with Bosch Thermotechnologies, and the last sector, customer goods, with Bosch PowerTech or Bosch Siemens Household Appliances, which is wholly owned by Bosch now.
Okay, so we see different sectors. We see 4 sectors here. As we already mentioned it, the Bosch Venture Forum will be on next generation computing. My question is, all companies working on next generation computing have to make a link with those application fields, or is it more open?
They should have a link to our business sectors or cross-sectional to these to be a strategic for Bosch.
Okay. And so they have to highlight the link, the how next generation computing address those markets. That's the point?
No, as we have a global network, we are open to receive application from any regions in the world. So.
Okay, yes. So in terms of geographical location, it's quite open. Indeed, this is also a question about the global networking within Bosch. Maybe you can give us a bit more information on this.
Yeah, sure. So we are active in over 60 countries across the globe with over 400 regional subsidiaries, including sales and service partners. Bosch Global Manufacturing and Sales Network covers nearly every country in the world.
Okay, so yes, it is also an opportunity for companies to have access to a large market at global level. But now, why next generation computing for this Bosch Venture Forum 2018? Why is it so interesting for Bosch?
Yeah, as mentioned in the beginning, artificial intelligence is an important topic for self-driving cars. Yeah, Bosch and our portfolio companies at our BVC, for example, AI Motive, is using AI and deep learning algorithms in that area, but all need sufficient computational power. During the 2017 Bosch Connected World in Berlin, Bosch announced together with NVIDIA to team up for new brains for autonomous driving. AI Motive announced at the CES 2018 that they developed their own hardware platform called AIware to have a sufficient computational power on board for their AI algorithms. A further example is our portfolio company Graphcore. They are designing chips for artificial intelligence applications, and last but not least, Bosch builds up a chip factory in Dresden for €1 billion, operative from 2021. Aim is to produce processors to serve e-mobility as well as, among other things, in the Internet of Things space. Please help us with your ideas to enhance and to enable our activities in all of our business sectors.
Right.
We got we got already software-related applications from our this year's Venture Forum in AI, blockchain, and cybersecurity, which is in principle fine with us. But please clearly describe in your application why you think it will contribute and link to the next generation computing, and why it will be outstanding compared to today's activities and technologies in that areas.
Yeah, it's quite important to make the difference between the last year events dedicated to blockchain and AI to this one more focusing on next generation computing. And maybe also to help the participants today, you are really free to ask your questions on the questions box, as you can see on the right part of your screen. So please ask your question here. We will answer to all your questions at the end of the session. It's really the great opportunity for you to ask directly your question to Heribert. So really feel free to do that. We will review the process and how to enter into the selection process of the Bosch Venture Forum. But if you have any questions, it's really the right timing to do it. So, Heribert, you mentioned a different investment done by your group. And I believe also that a lot of companies participating to the Bosch Venture Forum are very interesting also in getting Bosch as an investor. Maybe you can give us more information about RBVC or the Bosch Venture Capital activities and also your investment criteria.
Yeah, sure. Briefly to our RBVC itself, yeah. Our venture was founded in 2007 as the venture capital arm of the Bosch Group. The team size is currently 24. As of 1st of April, we will this year 28. Therefore, 18 investment managers, including 6 partners, and rest of this is support staff. We are currently establishing an open innovation platform to promote closer collaboration between startups and business units at Bosch. Therefore, we have also 2 innovation platform managers on board. Our offices are located in Stuttgart, Frankfurt, Tel Aviv, Shanghai, and an official affiliated office in Sunnyvale, US. In general, we are organized like an institutional VC fund, but with only one limited partner, that's Bosch. On this base, we made over 45 direct investments in startups since 2007. Still active in the portfolio of RBVC are today 34. Our investment criteria and benefits are the following. We need definitely a strategic fit to the Bosch search areas, and it should be complementary to Bosch activities and not in competition. But we are searching also for peripheral new business opportunities, supporting startups with operational experience, and our worldwide Bosch network will be an offer from us. Networking with startup communities on a worldwide basis as a further topic, and we need a breakthrough innovation in technology or in a business model to pursue on an investment, and of course, all based on risk-adequate financial returns. The next slide will show this in more detail. Numbers. Our areas of interest are clustered into 4 search areas: automation and electrification, energy and energy efficiency, or better, the whole cleantech area, enabling technology, as well as healthcare, where we can leverage our electronic experience, expertise, and know-how from our main business sectors. The search cluster contains 17 separate focus areas, and they are all described in more detail on our website. Investment targets are mostly startups. Besides these direct investments, we are also investing in funds, currently 15 worldwide, in order to increase deal flow and access to markets. The share of funds versus direct investments is currently about 20 to 80. In addition to our investment activities, we have started in 2013 sponsorships and cooperation with different accelerator companies worldwide. The focus regions are today Europe, North America, Israel, and China. In terms of investment stage, we are targeting in balanced stage funds from early to late stage financing rounds, inclusive follow-on investments in successful portfolio companies. The investment in each of our portfolio companies varies from 500k euro for seed investments and 1 to 4 million euro in early stage financing rounds. In follow-on rounds, we typically reaching aggregated investments of approximately 6 to 10 million euro, and the equity position is in a range of 10 to 20%. And we request a board seat. And we are happy to lead around or follow the leads in an investor syndicate. Today, we have 420 million under management, working on a virtual fund basis, and we probably apply for the follow-on fund later this year.
Okay, so indeed, we know better RBVC now, and we see better also why it's very interesting to come to the Bosch Venture Forum in Stuttgart in July 17-18 this year. Maybe it's a bit of time now to explain a bit more about these events, because as I said, it's a process to enter into collaboration with the Bosch Group. Your participation to this webinar is already a first step for your company to enter into this collaboration model. And the process will end with these events in Stuttgart. And this event will be a 2-day event. On the first day, on the 17th of July, you will be welcomed by your sponsor contact point. It will be a member of the Robert Bosch Venture Capital team, and this person will work with you during the whole day, actually the whole afternoon. You will get supported also to prepare your interaction with the different business units of the Bosch Group. During this afternoon, we will review your pitch, and especially you will receive questions and you will have discussion with the RBVC team. So after this preparation of your pitch, and you will see it whether a validation of your pitch, you will get some advices to improve it, and we will work with you also to prepare your one-on-one meetings dedicated to your interaction on the second day. More importantly, you will get also advices on how to optimize synergies within the key contact at the Bosch Group. So here already on the first day, you will get strong contact within the Bosch Group, and this sponsor contact point will be really the person that will follow you during the event, but also for the follow-up of the event. In the second day, we will have a keynote speaker on next generation computing, explaining the value of this field and its impact, also expected impact. And Wolfgang Brunner from the Bosch Group will introduce the Bosch activity in this technology area. Each of the selected company will be invited to pitch, and this pitching will be in front of the RBVC team, but also to all the Bosch business units. And this pitching session is very important also to start preparing the one-on-one meeting of the afternoon. So your pitch will be very important. In the afternoon, the one-on-one meeting will be organized, and you will meet with the different business units expressing interest in your activity. So how to raise interest of the Bosch business unit? 2 things. The first is your application form to be filled in, and I will explain why. And the second will be your presentation during the pitching session. So now, how to apply? So you will see it's quite simple. You just have to go to the RBVC websites. The link is here. And when you click on the application form, you will enter into the Blumorpho website, where you have the application form to be filled in. Maybe we can give a bit explanation about the application form and what we are expecting from them.
Yeah, sure.
That? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, on this slide you see the necessary application content we want to have as an application from your side. It's an overview, and first of all, of course, we needed technology focus, and please describe where you think where's the link to the next generation computing. Then, of course, the application area, mobility solutions, industrial technologies, energy building solutions, and customer goods. I already explained that, and we had already also a question from a company in regards to novel supercomputing architecture, if this falls under the definition, or if it should be under automotive and smart city applications. I think if you can clearly describe how this supercomputing architecture will apply to these different areas, it's totally sufficient. Then, of course, we need a short description of your company and a profile. Which kind of the problem you solve with your new approach, and please describe your product, and at what maturity level you are currently. So how ready is the technology? And please show up your USP, your unique selling proposition and differentiation to others. And there's also a point in regards to competition. What makes it different to you? Where you want to be with your product, and which are the target markets, and how you want to achieve sufficient revenues. What is the business model behind? And is the market already ready and in place? Then please describe also your expected synergies with us, with the Bosch Group. Yeah, is it on the corporation side? Is it a minority investment, or both? Or also additionally partnering with Bosch? Or if you have other ideas, please describe that. And please help us if you are already in contact with one of our 400,000 employees worldwide, or even with us as RBVC. And please describe your team itself. What is the strength? Why you think you have a team in place to bring that further and to be successful?
So a lot of points, but actually,
yeah,
but actually we make it tricky because we are limiting the number of characters you can use, because we all consider that it's very important you are able to be to the point, highlighting the key messages. It's important for the application form. It's also very important because this application form will be used as a booklet to be circulated to the different business units of the Bosch Group. So it's the best way for you to communicate on your company, and again, to make a strong effort on focusing on the key points, the key factors to explain your added value and how you could collaborate with the Bosch Group. So even though this application form is limited in number of characters, it's really an added value for you, because the more attractive you are, the better you will catch interest from the Bosch teams. If you have any questions on this application form, if you want to rewrite on it, etc., you don't hesitate to contact us at Blumorpho level. We are really here to support you and to provide you with any information you need on this. What we're going to do with this application form, we're going to select the companies that will be invited to come to the Bosch Venture Forum. So, Heribert, maybe it will be also very interesting for people participating to this webinar to understand how you're going to select them, so they can also highlight that in their application form.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and important for us are the following aspects as described on the slide here. So the innovation leverage in the technology or your business model. Then, as already described and explained in the previous slide, is the differentiation in the market. So what is your USP? So this will be a core topic. Then, of course, the strategic relevance to the Bosch activities will be an important criteria. The targeted market, as well as the Bosch model and growth potential. And of course, important, the team, but this is based on your description in the application form, as we not met the team before. And for the next point, it's important, based on our experience in the past, in organizing such events, we want to emphasize the following do's and don'ts that you should keep in mind as you fill out the application form. It's basically, as you have limited characters and wordings, so be to the point and accurate. Show us your vision and how you will become the next unicorn, yeah, in the next generation computing. Please describe this link also to the next generation computing, yeah, and the relevance to the market strategy, with the go-to-market strategy. Highlight your differentiation in that area and show us if there are others in the market. So what is the competition? And highlight the quality of your team. Why is that team in place to be a player for a unicorn in the next generation computing? And provide data on market size and expected growth in that area. And please avoid in being too generic in your application, yeah, or making links to websites and so on. So please describe really what's behind your company and your product and technology.
And more than that, since you are participating to this webinar, and this is also something that Hermine Rabaudot from Blumorpho mentioned to all of you, we are really pleased also to give you the support, meaning that if you submit your application between the 30th of March, then you will receive a first feedback, and you have the chance to improve your application before the deadline, which is going to be the 22nd of April. So you have a bit less than 1 month now to prepare your application, and really take this opportunity to do that before the 30th of March. You will receive a feedback and increase your chance of success. During this the Venture Forum, you will have the pitching session to be prepared, and basically it's a presentation of about 6 minutes, and then a 3-minute Q&A session. Heribert, maybe you can explain also here what you're expecting at our BBC level, but also what is true for most of the presentation to be done to private investors.
Yeah, in total, you will have 6 minutes on presentations, and we will have also the opportunity then to have a Q&A after your 6-minute presentation. So in total, so 9 to 10 minutes. So this is not really a lot of time, and the required information and recommendation for us is that you show a company overview with basically the founding, how old is your company, what are the employees, team behind. Again, the problem statements and solution should be in the innovation and the clear positioning of your USP. The market, yeah, if necessary, focus and why selected. Your business model, how to have a viable business model behind, and why you are joining the Bosch Venture Forum. What is your basic interest, if it is an investor or a corporation or be a supplier?
And since this presentation will be key, as we mentioned previously, for the selected company, we will organize a webinar on the 5th of June. The goal will be to share best practices, to give some advices, and we will get also our BBC team and Heribert participating to this webinar to give you his recommendation and best practices. So really, as I said, the Bosch Venture Forum is really more than an event. It's really a preparation for you to be ready to pitch and to generate collaboration with the Bosch Group. If you have any questions, of course, you know Hermine Rabaudot from Blumorpho. She will be your contact point, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to contact her by phone or by email. In terms of deadline and timing, so as I mentioned previously, the deadline for the application is the 22nd of April. All the company, so the non-selected and the selected company, will receive a feedback on the 16th of May. And we mentioned here the feedback also to the not selected company, because it's very important for us to share that with you, to explain why you have not been selected, and to help you also for the future also to link with the Bosch Group. We will have this welcome webinar on the 5th of June, and again, training session, specific and individual training session up to the 6th of July. And then the big day, the 17th and 18th of July in Stuttgart, in a very nice place where you will have a very great opportunity of networking, because we're going to have also a barbecue on the 17th of July with the RBBC team. So again, here, this barbecue is also a great opportunity to have a nice discussion and making the link again with the RBBC team. Heribert, do you have anything to add before we start the Q&A session?
No.
So
I think we can directly then to the questions.
So don't hesitate to ask your question. It's really a unique opportunity to ask your question directly to Heribert.
I will.
Yeah.
Yep. Just the question from Chess Stories. Do you see value for Bosch in explainable AI technology, software that is able to explain the reasoning of recommendation decisions coming from deep learning black box. I think it sounds like it is in the next generation computing, as it will use different aspects. I think you should apply, and then Seth, and please describe your thinking about the link to the next generation computing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We have a question for Philippe Blash. Said, indeed, we need to show the difference compared to last year, and is it possible to get information on last year application and pitches? What you need to know is that last year it was blockchain and artificial intelligence, and the next generation computing topic. So what is very important is that even though you are active in blockchain or AI, you need to show the link with next generation computing. We can't provide information on the selected company, neither on the pitch, of course, because this is confidential information.
And the Anthony's question, I think we will answer offline.
Yeah.
And the next question, let me check. Ready. So what is the review process? I think we answered that. Can we expect feedback pre the timeline dates communicated? I think Geraldine already said that there is an opportunity if you apply till 13th of March. Then you will get also feedback in regards if your application is sufficient or not. Yeah?
Yeah, you already answered to the question of Vladimir Gorelik during the webinar.
Yeah.
So that's
computing involved supply chain was a question from Scott. Is Bosch interested in all level of supply chain or just later levels closer to the finished computing products? It depends, I think. Yeah, of course, supply chain is an important point. Also for us as a global player in different verticals, I think you have to clearly describe the link to the next generation computing. What makes a difference to your idea, your business behind? Yeah.
So myself, I have also questions for the participants. So you will see here. I wanted to know if you have already yourself, did you know about opportunity of collaboration with the Bosch Group? So you just have to click to answer. And that's also very important to us because we can also better address your points depending on the case if you know you don't know. So thank you for your answer. So please answer to those questions because I think it's important also for the Bosch Group to know that. I have also additional questions for you. Are you planning to apply to this Bosch Venture Forum? Again, that's very important to us because if you are planning to apply, we will make sure that you have access to all the information. And if you do not want to apply, it's also good for us to know why. That's part of the process. So I see that we still have people who didn't answer yet. So please answer those questions. Again, based on your feedback, Hermira will come back to you also, and she will also be more accurate on the information you need. So that's why it's important to answer now. Yeah, I have also a very important question to us is what is your main interest in being selected for the Bosch Venture Forum? Is it to get fundraising? Is it for business collaboration, or is it something else? So if you could answer that, or again, this is interesting information to prepare your participation to the Bosch Venture Forum and to organize more meetings with different business units or with the RVVC team. So what I can see right now is that we have a strong interest for business collaboration with the Bosch Group, which I think it's a good message.
Great.
This is indeed good also because what I can tell in the field of next generation computing, there is no so many industrial companies that have the ability to collaborate as you do with company in a business point of view, and also that can invest in this field, even though the time might be a bit long to get access to the market, or that might be the perception. But there is no a lot of private investors like RBVC really ready to invest now in this field. So I think it is really a great opportunity for companies. So again, we strongly encourage you to apply because you will get known by the RBBC team and the Bosch Group, and it will be the starting point of a good collaboration. If you have yourself additional questions, don't hesitate to ask them because this is really the right moment to do it. You just have to click on the question box and ask your questions. And I check the opportunity also to ask questions to the people participating today to know if you have already started your application or not. Again, the goal here is really to help you in the process and to make sure you receive all the information. So it seems that most of you haven't started yet. So we hope that this webinar will be helpful for you to prepare your application. Here again, if you could answer those questions, that would be really helpful because Hamira will contact you back, and it's important for her also to know where you are in your process, so she can provide you with relevant information. So again, don't hesitate to answer those questions. Meanwhile, I think we have another question, Heribert.
Yep.
Alberto Roman asked, how do you define next generation computing, and if you could give some examples?
Yeah, as I had on one of our slides, if you look on AI Motive, one of our portfolio companies, they are dealing with artificial intelligence and deep learning algorithms on video data streams to realize autonomous driving. And they recognize that they have not the right computing hardware in place, and they decided to do their own hardware, specifically designed for their needs. This is, I guess, from our point of view, a good example in next generation computing. But also all kind of quantum computing could help us in a really in the future. But also silicon photonics or a new kind of cyber physical systems. If you take cybersecurity, you really have to describe what's behind, what is different to today's cybersecurity systems.
Yeah. We have another questions. Marino is wondering if you have interest in the sector of medical devices.
On the medical devices, I said that we healthcare area is a small portion of our activities at Bosch. But where we are looking is in medical devices and components, for example, for diabetes cares or cardiology. Also on lab on chip things are interesting for us, or all the connected devices for health and safety. But no surgery things or which are not in our area of interest, where we cannot leverage our experience in based on our automotive knowledge in electronics and sensors.
Right. Okay, we have more questions coming. We have a question for Jason saying that his company is a hardware company, but doing traditionally gaming PC. They have now moved to support HPC, data center, and autonomous vehicle. They have 10 years. It's a 10 years old company. Could they apply for the event?
In principle, yes. In terms of this shift to the new verticals, will match then to the Bosch strategies, and you can leverage your experience in the gaming industry. We had also an investment in a gaming company in the past, but there was a clear path to automotive or other areas in the IoT space. If this is indicated, then I think it makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We have a question again from Marino asking if we have blockchain company in the pipeline. Do you mean like pipeline for the application to this Bosch Venture Forum, or more globally? In any case, blockchain was a topic last year, and as we said previously, if blockchain is related to next generation computing, then company can apply. So I don't know if you answered directly to this question, but if you want to rephrase your question, we can answer differently. What else? Yes, we have another question from Sebastian asking if does Bosch have a program or some kind of collaboration regarding quantum computing, quantum threats already?
Yeah, there is a small group in the corporate research starting at that activity. So I think this describes our level of maturity in that area. Yeah, it's really early stage, but we are happy to further engage with also externals here in that area.
Okay, another question from Vladimir asking if you will consider a novel semiconductor device for next generation neuromorphic computing. So I think the question is really
yeah.
So this is exactly the one of the goal of this event also, right?
Yeah.
Marino asks if you have interest in non-invasive glucose sensor. I would say that if you have a specific technology or solution to highlight here, might be of interest to inform. But again, for the Venture Forum, the goal is to link with next generation computing. We're gonna take like 2 or 3 more questions. The one coming is, are you interested in next generation application security testing tools for software developers?
Ooh. The next generation but not the next generation computing. Please clearly describe what is the next generation computing aspect in that area you are applying.
Powered by next generation computing, Arcadie had it. So indeed, if it's powered by next generation computing, then it can totally make sense. Yeah. All right, so I think we covered, I hope I'm not wrong, we covered most of the questions. In any case, we will review them, and if we have